Hey, good morning. I did this big long video and then I hit delete by mistake. So yes, those days do happen. What I wanted to talk about again today is self-criticism as a habit. And I keep coming back to that little phrase, but it means so much because I know you guys know I struggle with it. I know a lot of my friends and family struggle with it. Women, I think, in general struggle with it, and men struggle with it more than they let on. So I have some ideas for you, and I hope you stick with me on this. But we have to realize that we are not our thoughts. I'm going to say that again. We are not our thoughts. Because just because you think destructive things or not in your best interest things doesn't mean you have to act upon them. And just because you think to yourself, oh my God, I'm really stressed out, I'm going to go have a beer. I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to have a piece of chocolate cake. I'm going to eat this whole bag of cookies even though I know gluten messes me up. Put whatever your thing is in. And just because you think that doesn't mean you have to act upon it. And I know you're sitting there thinking, yeah. But it is true. But it's really hard to figure that out. I'm going to use Whole30 as an example here, so excuse me, but I know a lot of you are familiar with that, and it's an easy one. So, excuse me, the first week of Whole30, we tell people eat your 3 meals a day, your veggies, your proteins, and your fats. And inevitably, by day 2, I get the, do I have to eat breakfast? I'm not hungry. I can't eat all this food. I don't want this food. I'm too full. I can't eat all this. I don't want it. And like a drill sergeant, I say, do it anyway. And the reason we do that is because you're coming into a Whole30 and you're usually coming off a standard American diet. Maybe you're coming off of holidays. Maybe you're just coming off of a bad time. And you cannot trust the signals that your body is giving you for hunger because your hormones aren't regulated. You might be a sugar burner right then. You can't trust yourself that first week. And quite honestly, you probably can't trust yourself until about the 3rd week of Whole30. So you can't trust your signals. So think of your thoughts as signals. Just because you think it doesn't mean you have to act upon it. You can separate church and state. You are church. Your thoughts are state. Look at them as political events, if you will. All right, this is where I'm going to lose you guys because I'm going to give you the best habit that I started that helped me with that, and that is meditation. I know I've just lost a bunch of you. But understand that meditation is a practice. It's probably the best form of self-love that you can give yourself because you literally take 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your day just to sit and be with yourself. So A, self-love. B, you can't mess up meditation. If you sit down and meditate and do nothing but think of your to-do list and you get up and you're then annoyed, you still meditated. It still counts. And I will tell you that the days that I do that, I will get up and I'll be frustrated. And then later on in the day, I'll be in a line or somebody's annoying me or something. And I drop right into the meditation. And I take myself right out of the situation. And I think, that's why I meditate. So I can't say enough about meditation. I don't meditate all the time. I did, over the years, I've done it for months at a time. I think I did a whole, I don't think it was a whole year, but I did 6 or 8 months. And then I'll drop off for a couple of months, and then I'll pop back onto it, and that's okay. But I would love for you guys to maybe make that a new micro habit where you just do it for 5 minutes. It will really help you separate your thoughts from yourself. Think of it like, you know, in Rockefeller Center where the Today Show is, and they have the news scrolling, or even on the TV where the news is scrolling at the bottom. Those are your thoughts. You can read them and you can think about them, but you don't actually have to react to them. Think of yourself in Rockefeller Square and you read something obnoxious on the news, but you decided to turn around and go and have a nice healthy lunch. You don't have to react to all your thoughts. You don't have to criticize yourself. You don't have to subscribe to everything. You've probably seen that thing where, how does it go? I don't know. You don't have to commit to every argument that you're invited to, that kind of thing. Like, you can't argue with a person who's not going to argue back with you, right? So you can think all these thoughts, but you don't have to act upon them. And it's just learning how to do that. It sounds super easy, but I'm going to tell you, it's hard in practice. It really is. My favorite ways to do this are, there's an app called Headspace, and I don't know if it still is, but you used to be able to do like a month for free before you had to subscribe. And it's brilliant. It's a guided meditation, takes you through everything, teaches you how to do it. So you could do that for a month. And then there's another app called Calm, C-A-L-M, that does the same thing. So you could do another month with them. And then there's another app called Interval Timer, and that's all free. But I would suggest you do the Headspace and the Calm first, so you get the guided meditation and you learn some different approaches to meditating. There's 1,000 different ways to meditate. But you'll find one that resonates with you, and then at least if you learn some other ones, you can, like, sometimes I don't want anything. I don't want to hear anything. Other times I want guided. Sometimes I just want music. Sometimes I want a story. It just all depends. But if you start with the basics, it's really excellent. There's also a book, I think it's called The 8-Minute Meditation by Victor Davich, something like that. And I used to teach that course. You know, maybe I should teach that course again. I used to teach that course, and it was really, really, really good. I could maybe teach that course again in Who Quits Healthy. If you guys might be interested in that, let me know. Because what I could do is record videos, and we could just, I think it was 8 weeks, and we could go through that. Let me know if you're interested. If that's not something that speaks to everybody, I don't want to spend time doing it. But if it is something you might be interested in, let me know. But it really helps, and it does change you. It really, really does. You know, if you start reading books about these great entrepreneurs, you know, the Elon Musks, all these other people of capital and means, they meditate. It's weird. They completely do. So if it's good enough for these people and they can make time to do it, I'm thinking that it's probably not a bad idea. I only suggest to you guys the things that I have done myself, that I have found to work, and I 1,000% believe in it. There's also a podcast by Dan Harris, who's a meditation master, and it's called 10% Happier, and it's all sorts of different things. And it's really good. So maybe you want to check out something like that. And I'll link Headspace, Calm, and Interval Timer, and the book too, down below when I get home. But I would really love you to think about this. You know how in the Who Quits Healthy community, we're totally into micro habits, small habits, things of that nature. I really feel like this could level you up. Now understand, you are going to meditate, and there's going to be days where you sit down and you're like, why did I even bother doing this? And you're going to get up and you're going to be frustrated. But you still did it. You did something for yourself. You loved yourself enough to sit down and spend that time. And again, like I tell you, it was so funny because the days where I had the worst meditations, something would always happen later in the day. And I would be like, oh, you know, the universe has a sense of humor for sure. So anyway, I'll stop rambling, but please ask any questions you have. You know I live for questions. You know I love talking about all this stuff. So bring it on. Have a great day, guys.